talk about that. So we have that coming up. Right now, we're in just the thick of a heated debate on who you'd rather have as a Kings fan. We know there's lots of options. There's other players, but would you rather have Kyle Kuzma or the guy that Draper
Zach LaVine, the guy that'll help lead us to a championship?
There's a Twitter poll which Jay put up there, and I have to say I'm not surprised, and this doesn't mean that I'm right. I know, but I'm not surprised so far that Kuzma is winning. Doesn't mean it's the right pick, but it's more conservative. It's not as risky. You know?
I mean, from an injury standpoint, contract standpoint.
Yeah. And I'm not criticizing. Exactly. I'm not trying to take a, backdoor rabbit punch at you.
And here, I like Kuzma. I think he's a tremendously talented player. I think he has game, his offense. He can go off for 30. Like, Kuzma is a fantastic player. I just think temperament-wise, Zach LaVine and where they are in their career right now fits in better for me. Mm-hmm. I think Zach LaVine alongside De'Aaron Fox, now you're talking one of the best backcourts in the league. Now you're talking one of the most feared offensive backcourts in the NBA. And I think Zach LaVine still has something to prove team-wise. I don't think he has a lot to prove individually because he's had his numbers. He's been an all-star. But team-wise, he has something to prove. I don't feel Kyle Kuzma has anything to prove team-wise, but he has things to prove individually. Yep. And I worry about that in that fit.
The other side of that same coin to me is Kuzma has won. He's proven he can win. And Zach LaVine has shown he's a good player, but he hasn't won. And maybe he's been on bad teams, or maybe he's been part of that because he's been one of the best players on some of these teams. Here's on the chat, we have David Myers says, give me Kuz. He says LaVine can definitely help in the 40 games he will be available to play. That's kind of a cheap shot.
No, that is a cheap shot because
I agree with it.
No, but it's not true. Look at Zach LaVine just 2 years ago, Whitey, when he played, 77 games, I think it was. I mean, sure, he was injured this past season, but 2 years ago, like I said, the guy was a rock out there. I got 77 games. Year before that, 67. So it's not like he's playing 30 games here. This was one season in which he had the foot injury, and let's keep it real, the Bulls were going nowhere. And so I don't want to make it sound like he's injury prone.
67 now is like, whoa, Iron Man?
No, because the league's number is 65. Anything above that, I'm taking. Yes. 67, you missed
65 is a bare minimum you have to play
15
to make 15
games, big fellas.
Linda Harold says Zach gets my vote.
And see,
she's a big Drapes fan.
Big, a smart basketball person too. She is.
Amadrock Kuzma over LaVine. Manny Too Legit says you guys should do a poll. Come on,
where's he at? Manny, go to the Twitter page, man. Sactown Sports 1140.
He also says I think I'm in on LaVine. So
right, he's smart as well. He's smart.
Mm-hmm.
No, and I'm looking at the Twitter poll right here. I got it in front of me, and right now, your guy is leading, Kyle Kuzma, 59% to 41%. I'm looking at some of the comments. LaVine, his name would help put Sac on the map, will help get more publicity to allow either him, Sabonis, or Fox to make the All-Star. Bam. I'm agreeing with you. Somebody said, is there a better third option? Somebody said neither.
Good question.
No thanks. Neither. Man, I tell you what, man, I can't argue with Kings fans or fans in general. They don't see the bigger picture. They're not seeing the bigger picture. We got to do something, people.
Yeah.
And there's no man. And you and I are bringing up gettable guys, realistic guys. Brandon Ingram is a pipe dream, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon Ingram is not coming here. And Jay, clip this, big fella, because I will eat my words if Brandon Ingram comes here. I just don't see a path for him being a Sacramento King.
I understand that tweet that you just read, though, because that was me a year ago. Like LaVine, Kuzma, I was like, no, next, what else? But that's where they are right now.
Right.
And I've been thinking, you've probably been thinking, and, well, who else is there? Somebody on the chat mentioned, you get Najee Marshall and you get Nick Claxton. It's like, that's not enough.
Yeah, that's okay.
Those guys can help you, but it's not enough.
But you said it all week. We need some top tier talent. We need upper level talent. And I think for that, both those guys we mentioned would fit that bill in terms of upgrading the talent on the team.
If the report